me, JB. I hope we're all doing extremely well. I'm gonna go. I'm still gonna go with the pleasantries. Look, Amarin has been sacked. I'll go into it today. We spoke about this last night. I told you all last night. While everybody else was guessing, I told this community last night. It wasn't a guess. I told you all watch this space tomorrow. I told you tomorrow. Nikaruchi said a handsome devil. I told you last night on stream. It's there for people to believe. Like nobody is going to give me props. No one's going to give this channel props. Or the other picture. Look, I don't regret not going live with it this morning. I told you all last night. But look, get into this amazing community. Get into this channel. Get into this channel with me. We will get onto it. Look, this is a amazing community. Be respectful to this amazing community. Absolutely fantastic. We go through things on here and we will talk about it. We will talk about Amarin and we'll get into it. Look, second thing to say, I'm not a dictator of this chat. I really do give you your opinions. So come on here, give me your opinions today and we will go through it. Amarin's been sacked. There is it is no surprise to me. The biggest question is, where do you even go from here? And that is the biggest question. Look, I'm gonna talk about last night, and then we can get into the Amarin stuff. Last night we spoke about this, you know, and again, look, I'm sure there were other channels this morning. You've been calling it, and look, Wonky Donkey last night on stream, and look, we were talking about this, right? I said last night none of the other channels went with it because they pretend they know people. I didn't just pluck it out of my ass. Like I wish that I could lie and say, oh, you know, I predicted it. I wish that I could say that I was the one that came up with it. I told you last night on stream after the match, and I didn't want to say too much last night. I was sent a text last night. Well, I was sent a text after the game. That is why I told you last night that Amarin was going to get sacked. Watch out this morning. Watch out last night. Watch out this morning, because there is going to be some news come out, and Darren Fletcher was going to take over this team. That is what I was told last night. That is what we did on this stream last night. No one else, other people were saying potentially. We called it. It's all there. It's all there last night, and this community called it. You won me money at the book as I put a random tenner on Amarin getting sacked. Rewards 4-1. You know, guys, we don't on this channel. What I don't do, probably what I should do more is I probably should, you know, maybe put it like out there. Indicala didn't call it last night. The United Stand didn't come on with it last night. We come out of it last night. So all I'm going to say to people who are picking their channels, you need to pick the right one, because we called it on here last night. I told you before, I get things from people, and look, this isn't my information. I wish I could say, you know, I come up with it and I'm that clever. I'm not. So look, I was told this last night. It's on stream. If you want a channel that is level-headed, if you want a channel that we discuss things in the correct manner, this is the channel to do that. Wonky Donkey says you've been calling it perfectly, level-headed and factual. Thanks, mate. I cannot believe he's been sacked, though. Do you think his outburst and the press conference led to this? So look, what I was told, and again, this is why I've been saying what every channel has been talking about signings. I've been saying for the longest time he's not going to get signings. It's either a Gallagher or zero, right? Tensions have been fraught for a little while. That Amarin has been pushing behind the scenes, and what's basically happened is that they have decided, and Grace is not happy. I'm not happy either. I have £20 Dragon Canada. Fantastic. It wasn't just the outburst. Amarin wasn't going to get past the summer. What happened was that they basically decided that they wanted to go back to a 4-3-3. Amarin was told that he needs to go back to a 4-3-3. Lusky says he looks like I know Clark Kent. Thanks, mate. We are effed, says Ginmiles. Welcome, my friend. I know at the moment everybody else is getting all the views and all the clicks and that sort of stuff. I am underneath today pissed off. This club has no idea what it's doing. What happened behind the scenes is that the Football Insider decided they wanted to go back to a 4-3-3, pushing Amarin. This is why he come out last night and basically said this is why he basically. I think you're happy, lad. It's sad that the lad has lost his job. I can't wait to see play in the second division. We're in the same situation as Wolves. I'm not happy. I'm not happy. I can assure you, I am not happy. What did I miss this brown night? I am not happy about this. I've been saying all season. There are a couple of things that I've said on here. Is that Amarin is going to live or die on a couple of things. He's going to live or die on the Bruno Fernandez. He's going to, and just for the laugh, I'm going to keep saying this because I want recognition for this community. I want recognition for this channel. Last night on stream, I told you this was going to happen. I told you. I was told last night after the stream, after the game, Amarin was going to get sacked and Fletcher was going to take over. I'm not happy. Once again, shit show. Even if I wasn't told last night and I put it out on stream last night, I could have told you. After the outburst, the Glazers, INEOS will never accept that. Will never, ever, ever accept that. If you go against the owners of this club, you're gone. This club will never. Amarin has been used. He's been used as a shield. And look, you got, and I will come through the chats as well, right? But Amarin has been used as the shield. He's been, and I've got to say this as well. These fucking players have got through another manager. This club has gone through another manager. This guy has not even lasted 18 months. These players have thrown another manager under the bus. Luke Shaw, Dallow, Maguire. These players have thrown another manager under the bus. Now, look, I am not just going to go in on these players here. Is the players are to blame, but the players are take a percentage of this blame. This is why I've kept moaning about this board, the Glazers, all season. I've kept complaining about them all season. This was coming all season. I am disgusted. And again, if I said as well, I'll keep moaning about this. I'll keep moaning about the Glazers. I'll keep complaining. It's all there on stream. I keep moaning about these Glazers. They do not back a coach. They just don't back him. It is an absolute disgrace. How can you bring in a coach who plays a 3-4-3, expect him to work with these players? And I'm not completely blaming these players, by the way, because they are limited players. They were bought as 4-3-3 players. They were not given, they didn't give themselves the contracts. This coach has never been backed. I've said this since pre-season. This coach has not been backed with his players. You can't bring in, whether people like it or not, you could never bring in a specialist coach and not back him. This is an abject failure. Wilcox needs to be sacked. Barada needs to be sacked. Favell needs to be sacked. This whole fucking board needs to be sacked. And what has happened again? We are back to where we are. How many rebuilds do we need? Fletcher taking over is a fucking disaster. He's an internal. He's going to be the Glazers fucking yes man. He will think that he can run this show on these players. He's basically going to get through to the end of the season, and what are we going to have? Another Ollie. This is a disaster. This is why I keep calling it out and keep saying this. This fan base needs to protest. This fan base needs to go out there. This fan base now needs to. And look, I am happy to support any shout out. I'm happy to get anybody here. I'm happy to push that out there. I'm happy to do it. Disgusted. Let me go through the chat. See what you guys are saying. It's a sad day that he's gone. What did I miss? INEOS won another yes man. I do agree. Shocking decision by the board. It was 100% behind him. Look, it's a shame to be a supporter of United at the moment. I can only hope for the best. Amarin could have been brilliant had he been given the money to build his squad, but it seems the board, INEOS, never actually wanted to back him. Do you want Xavi to take over? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. A manager's going to have to work with these players. Like, let me give you an example. Right, these bigger channels will never apologise, right? Because they've been talking shit about a top four. Amarin's going to get his players. We're going to sell 10 players, bring in 10 players. We're going to sell 10 and we're going to boss it. It was never happening. In a million years, it was never happening. It doesn't matter. This is Nice. INEOS have failed. Ashworth, Ten Hag, Ashworth, Amarin. It's a fucking disaster. And if we don't do something now to protest against this piss poor, and look, and to all those people not on here, who was talking about the best in class, INEOS is going to boss it. INEOS are going to come in. This is a pathway to Sir Jim to like own this club. It's not. It's never been that. I keep saying this. It's not about that. It is about profit. They don't want to spend money. They want to spend as limited money as they possibly can. It is an absolute disaster. This club never going to progress under the ownership. It's gone. Never, ever, ever. This is another stupid reset. I was never sold on Amarin. I'm a United fan. I never thought he was good enough. And look, again, some of you today are going to be pleased. And I get that. I get it. I am not here to have a pop at anybody, right? I'm just going to turn on the heater. This is never about the fans, right? I do not, and I will absolutely refuse people to blame fans who wanted him out, fans who wanted to keep him. It's all about opinion, right? I think that whatever you decided is right for you. Nicky said, everyone big up JB and give this man a follow. He called it last night. Don't forget to like, favourite and subscribe. This board is a joke. Says, right. Apparently his target was top 6 this season. He's on target and they sack him with that soon. The project through. Disgusting. Good morning. I support follow JB. The club is now a shit show. Don't worry, I can see Slot following soon. The only reason he's still the manager is because he won last year. Don't worry, sir. One good manager, some shifting momentum for a few months, then the constant backing should be good enough. Be back on track. It's not going to happen, mate. Nikarutsu, mate. Thanks, buddy. JB called it first about Amarin. He's 25% of my winnings. Look, Nikarutsu, mate, absolute legend. I appreciate it, buddy. I mean, look, it blows my mind that you support the channel, that people support the channel, mate. Nikarutsu, mate, I can't even thank you enough, mate. We did call it last night. I am not going to shy away from the fact that we called it on here last night. I told you last night what was going to happen today because of the information that I got text last night. It wasn't fluke. It wasn't guesswork. Look, I am not that clever to guess the events that Amarin watch out for today. This morning, Fletcher was going to come in. As level-headed as I am, that's not something that I was going to guess today. I thought he would have got until the end of the season, until at least the end of the week. That's what all the channels were reporting that this morning, that Amarin was going to get until the Burnley game, the end of the week, because they were guessing. This channel doesn't guess. I don't pluck things out of my arse, and this is why I will not do clickbait. I will base this channel on logic and the things that I hear. Promo says, yes, the players are a disgrace, but who give these players contracts? Glazers, INEOS. You can so look. Slot is not the coach. Is a coach and not the manager. He'll say that himself. Liverpool wanted the head coach and not manager. They wanted to take some of the power back, and Klopp had wrestled it away from them. Wow, this is unacceptable, says John. I can see this coming after the presser last night. Maresca incoming. Can we at least get Rude Van Nistelrooy? Not for me, mate. Amarin tried his best to manage under INEOS. The fans, the whole of the United community had a lot of expectations. We ain't in the Fergie days anymore. Arteta built Arsenal with shit players. He did. Top 4 was never on the cards this season, and we've kept saying I'm gonna clip this channel up because I think you guys are fantastic on here, right? I'm going to clip this channel up because everything that we've said, everything we spoke about on here, the things that you guys have said, the things that I've said and given my opinion, has happened. We could put in one of the greatest managers, but until we sort out the squad, we're a sinking ship and the wrong captain at the wheel. It's about the players. Manager to do their job. He's called out the board and lost his job. Sound familiar? Exactly, John. Exactly, mate. They half-assed from day one. We didn't even have the under-21s playing a system that translated to what they needed. It's the job. It's that who's going to get the job at the moment is Fletcher. I told you last night Fletcher would be manager. And Alex, what did we say on here last night, Alex? This channel told you last night what was going to happen. Watch out, and Alex called it as well with the Fletcher stuff. We said, and people like, you're right. We called it on this channel last night. We said last night that Amarin was going to get sacked. Fletcher's going to take over. And that's what many of you said as well. Brush said, did Amarin actually get sacked, or is this? No, he's been sacked, mate. I am very sad. Please, God. Thing make him feel good is Ruben Amorim. I disagree. As he is officially sacked. Yes, he is. He's been sacked. In my opinion, the United fans are more concerned about the board than they need to. You're shouting like Chelsea sacked a manager who came off a good run. Their fans deserve to complain about. No, their fans deserve to complain about. Hi, my brother. Welcome, my friends. Hopefully, fans get together and get these owners out now. Amarin has exposed these owners and what they are. And look, again, we spoke about this last night. Amarin last night, respect. Absolute respect for him last night. He come out and he basically exposed this club last night. Absolute respect. Amarin knew what he was doing last night. Amarin knew last night he wanted to get sacked. Amarin wanted to get sacked last night. That's why Amarin did what he did. Was because Amarin wanted to get sacked last night. There's no ifs and buts on that. If you look at Rangnick, if you look at people who go against these owners, do not accept people going against them. I wonder if Amarin will now. I wonder if an NDA will be signed. Amarin has been sacked because he's spoken up. Respect to it. Look, I've got nothing but respect for him. Got nothing but respect for this coach now. And again, the club will. The thought of these players that this morning. Look, I'm not completely going to blame these players, but you think about these players this morning. They're going to have smug fucking faces this morning. They're going to have this smug smile on their face. Like Luke Shaw, I mean, I'm mentioning him because he's been shit all season. He is a fucking chancer. He's been through so many coaches, and yet he is still here. He for me is the epitome of this failed club. Will we get a manager bounce? Yes. Fletcher will go to a 4-3-3. You're probably going to see some attacking play. You're going to see wingers. You're going to get a bounce. But what you will then see is you will see these players capitulate again. You will see these players doing what they do. I reckon Fletcher will probably get it. I think Fletcher will do well. I think they'll do an Ollie. And then I think Fletcher. And you watch this fucking media as well. You watch this media. You watch these ex-players now. They will not go in on Fletcher. They will not go in to their mate. This will be another failed United legend. Fletcher's not a fucking legend. He's being called a legend. Fletcher was a great player. Fletcher is not a legend. Now, you're going to see Neville. You're going to see Keane. You're going to see all these all these ex-players now bigging him up. Their board wanting a yes man, but United's board was actually backing Ten Hag before, maybe not Amarin, but his results were never at the table as well. So it's not like the board deserves all the. I disagree with you. I disagree. Well, it can come as no surprise. JB been saying it for the last. And Dino legend in the house. Dino, we called it last night. Dino, I said on stream that I had information. I had a message, and I said watch tonight, watch tomorrow, because Amarin is gonna get sacked and Fletcher will come in. Finished the season, he should have been sacked a long time. Thoughts on Chelsea? Same as us. Chelsea sack managers. Maresca went of his own accord. I think it was a mutual decision. Lionshouse says the result deserves the sacking. I disagree with you. Jake says good. The Rough Rider don't agree with the sacking, but get Luis Enrique. Rough Rider, how are we going to get Enrique? Can you tell me? Can you tell me how we get Enrique? Why is Enrique going to leave Champions League winners? What is Enrique going to do with these players? What we need to, what you need to understand, and I'm not talking about everybody, and you guys are smart, is this. What manager is going to come in to work with these players? Luis Enrique cannot improve these players. These players have sacked another manager. These fucking low IQ, wanker players have sacked another manager. This board, this Glazers, this INEOS are an abject toxic failure. There is no manager going to come into this. No manager is going to want this job. No manager is going to want to come into this side and manage those players. And unless you give a manager an entire team and spend £500 million on this team, no manager is going to succeed here. But you got Mbeumo and Cunha, stop blaming the board. Lion Tao, look, mate, I'm going to find it really difficult, Lion Tao, and you're probably pushing the buttons a bit, because I think you are pushing the buttons a bit, right? How is Amarin responsible for these players' lack of desire? The whole season, you bring in a coach who plays a 3-4-3. You don't back him. You give him Mbeumo and Cunha. Mate, we needed wing backs. We needed 2 centre midfielders. We needed another striker. He was not backed. How can you just say you give him two players and that's it? You gave him a striker, his 5th choice striker. It wasn't even his striker. How can Amarin take blame for this? Look, yes, you can blame the tactics. The conferences got worse and worse and worse because you give him 2 players. How is that his fault? Is the stadium rusting and having to be knocked down his fault? No. Is the toxicity his fault? No. Is the debt his fault? No. Is the infection of failure his fault on past players and the current players? No, we've got no winners in this team. They've got no spine. They've got no IQ. How is this Amarin's fault? HJB says, Tulip, good riddance. Maresca in. Amarin still comes out the winner, as he will be getting a payout, and respect him for exposing the truth. He wanted to air the dirty truth to the fans while he was still in the job. He knew it was his last stand and doing what he did. Agree with you. Dino says, Amarin was only left with one option for the owners. Amarin seems to have gotten what he wanted, and an NDA will be 100% in place. I wasn't expecting this switch. I told you last night, Switch. I told you last night. Amarin was getting sacked. Fletcher was coming in. I told you last night, mate. Maresca is available. Please come. Why? What is Maresca? And look, I absolutely respect it. Maresca left the Chelsea job because the Chelsea job was shit. Why is Maresca going to come in to take this job? How is he? How is Maresca going to come in and save this season? We don't even have Chelsea players. I would say they're a better squad than us. They've got better players. How is Maresca going to come in and save this club with worse players? I said before the Leeds game he would get sacked regardless of the result. The decision was made. The owners are the problem, but Amarin was awful. I gave him so much grace, but he almost got relegated last season, and we're playing one game per week this year, and we still can't play well. United will beat Burnley for sure. Shaw's Netflix documentary should be called Shit Shaw. The cycle never ends. It's always the manager's fault. When are we going to stick together and finally do the protests to get the owners out? Fletcher is another Ollie, Neville Skulls and Butt. Agree with you. I don't care about. This is why I've refused to talk about signings. This is why I've refused to enter the top 4 race. I've refused it all because this goes beyond players. Look, I'm still going to call these players out. It is beyond these players. It's beyond a manager. Glazers won a puppet. I agree. Rio 2 can't stand him. Will be living. He'll be loving their mate in this job now. Don't need an interim hire. Maresca just got Chelsea into Europe and won the Club World Cup. The whole INEOS structure is a joke. The manager market is sparse. Set back another 2 years. Yes, from improving. Chelsea was short when he took over and he made them good. Leeds fan here, don't think you should sack your manager. He's gone, mate. He's gone. Doesn't matter whether we should sack him, back him. He's gone. Any manager looking at us thinking there's no money for transfers, no thanks. Who is actually a free agent manager that you can bring in? Fletcher. Fletcher's going to get it. We won't get a top manager because INEOS don't want a manager. They want a puppet head coach who they can control and tell him what to do and who to play. Ruben won't go for another Prem job. He's going to go to some Spanish team and they'll do well. Agreed. All other teams have struggled against Leeds. Many managers leave jobs and go elsewhere. The money talks, but that needs to go into rebuilding the squad. I missed the show last night, JB. Switch, look, mate. Many people did. We're not. Look, many of you called it last night, right? Many of you called exactly the same as I got called, as I said it last night. The only difference is that I got told it after the game last night. But many of you intelligent people called it. I'm not as smart as some of you guys. Like you guys called it last night. I basically said it because that is what I got told. Southgate will be in within 28 days. Nice fan, I think Fletcher's going to get it. Oh, sorry. Fletcher has got it. Again, I mentioned this, that if Amarin goes, Southgate will come in. I fully expect Southgate to come in. I think Fletcher will probably get it, as you say, till the end of the season. I think Southgate is going to be the coach. It was a good Mystic JB in full swing. Let's be honest, a United manager finishing 15th after managing for half a season doesn't deserve all the love he's receiving, in my opinion, after being sacked. I disagree. Look, I disagree, but I respect the opinion, right? I do. But how can a manager who finished 15th, they weren't his players? How can you, right, and this is my question. How can you blame a manager that finished 15th last season? They weren't his players. They gave him one player. They gave him Dorgu from a relegation fodder Italian side, right? These players sacked Ten Hag, right? and you've given those players to a coach who plays a 3-4-3 system. Finishing 15th wasn't on him last season. It was on the players. It was on INEOS, the Glazers. How can you blame a manager for that shit show last season? This news is very devastating. In fact, United is just revolving around in a circle. As a Leeds fan, you played better than Liverpool, but you lot are gonna end shooting yourselves in the foot. You always blame the manager. We're not. I've not. The club will. This dirty, disgusting, rotten club. And look, we will get on to Wilcox as well. But let me just get through the chat. Luke Shaw's Netflix show should be called The Shaw Wank Redemption. I love it. Can't believe how many Muppets in this fan base stick up for INEOS. They've been worse than the Glazers. Full sale needed. I do agree. I'm not sure the directors know where we're going, only because of his speech. How many managers is going to take until you accept? Can we not make out this is a mistake just because the board are bad? Broken clock is right twice a day. The board are wrong. Thoughts on Amarin saying before he walked and how staying until he got his big payouts? I'm glad. Respect to him. I think Amarin knew he could. Amarin took this squad as far as he could. Amarin knew he wasn't going to get players. Amarin knew he wasn't going to get backed. Amarin went out on his sword. Respect. I always felt that Amarin should walk, but why should he walk? Why should Amarin walk? Why should Amarin walk out of this job? The amount of shit he's had to put and take from this club. Why should Amarin not get paid for that? I think Amarin was clever last night. Amarin, it was a passing shot. Amarin told us all. I respect him. I do. I really do. Amarin sacked because Amarin exposed the board. Exactly. Tyrone says, Ruben's appointment showed me United don't know what they're doing. I am worried about us. We will be the official mid-table team for a long time. We've been talking about this, mate. The Glazers want a mid-table, the odd Champions League occasion. They want European football because they don't care. They don't care about what competition we are in. All they care about are the home games. They want as much money from the home games as possible. What would suit them down to the ground is if you went to the Conference League and you have to qualify and you have to go through the qualification stages before you get to the main competition. That is what they want. They want as many home games as they possibly can. Tyrone says, get these people to lose money, stop games, and they will have to sell. Dan Fletcher is looking like a good appointment for an interim. What? Why? My question is why? Why is Fletcher a good coach? Tell me why. What has he done? Wilcox, and again, I'm gonna go through it all. Conte made the blueprint for managers to force their boards to sack them. Amarin followed it to a T. I liked Amarin, wanted him to work, but the performances have gotten worse. The board is putting themselves before the club. He's a great guy. I hope he has a successful future. Thanks, Martin. On a scale of 1 to 10, JB, how broken do you think we are? 1. We are broken. 1. I'd even say 0. We are. I would probably say -2 because we're going backwards. If I was to give it a positive score, it means that I think that we are progressing in some way. It's a minus score for me. Dino says -100, and that's being kind. You want him to rebuild with nothing. He went from 15th to 6th with nothing. Barry Morgan, so we should have kept him knowing we won't spend. It's a falsity to suggest Amarin was doing well with what he had at his disposal. Squad isn't winning the league, but it's surely a Champions League side. Nah, Barry. Come on, Barry. It's not. It's not. Amarin, look, these players and this board and this and INEOS, Ten Hag got sacked. Ashworth, the director of football that came in, was sacked because he went against the board. He went against them. He's been sacked. Amarin's been sacked. How is this on a manager? This is on players. This is on players. This is on the board. What could Amarin do? We need to warn Carragher for all his nonsense speeches against us. If Liverpool manages, he's speechless. The guy has an agenda. The guy's a prick. Carragher, I can't stand him. The phlegm spitting, biased piece of shit. I can't stand him. I'm not going to fucking hold back. He's a wanker. I can't stand him. But how the twat gets onto BT Sport, like how he gets onto Sky Sports, what an absolute dickhead. Again, this is the media hiring biased people for clicks. Look, it's how this works is they want clicks. People want clips, viewers. I guarantee you last night, Neville on his podcast, and he's a wanker as well. Neville on his podcast, I bet he got loads of views last night. It's all about views. It's all about views. So Jim said there was no money and now has to sack another manager, costing us millions. He's going to have to sack more dinner ladies to cover this. And look, what did I tell you about the money situation, right? We lost 30 million, okay? And PSR-wise, we could spend up to 72, right? I told you guys, INEOS are not going to spend because they needed the money there just in case they sack this manager. This is why they won't spend. This is why they've kept the surplus there, because they know they're going to have to sack him. Fletcher is just a yes man. Maybe get yourself a manager that can play a 4-4-2, since that's what everyone wants. Oliver Glasner is the leading candidate. Oh mate, it would be absolutely just. Glasner plays a 3-4-3. How is Glasner? It doesn't matter. Get in Glasner. Get in Big Sam. Doesn't matter. Herbie says, I think you mean 10 JP. Absolutely ruined. Don't think Glasner, good manager. He's simply played the style of Amarin with better players, and we know the board are not spending. They can't patch the team up anymore. They don't have the money to buy star players. Fletcher is the same person who beat Liverpool 7-0 in the under-18s. Gabriel, who taught. Because so what you're saying is because Fletcher beat the Liverpool with the under-18s is good enough for this job. I give up. Look, mate, I respect the opinion, but sometimes opinions are just wrong. I mean, look how. Wilcox. I mean, I'm gonna come back to that comment, not because I'm calling you out, just because I'm just gonna go for it. I don't blame Ruben. I don't blame Ruben. The board, Neville and Carragher are owned by Davos up their own arse. The Glazers have me up to 100. The idiots. Jamie is really shit. I hate that guy. It's weird that they've done this whilst so many key players are injured or AFCON. Not much Amarin can do about it, to be fair. Amarin sacked. Great, he says. You know, I keep sacking the staff. They're going to end up bring your lunch to work, gym at home, training in the local park. Josh says, why would we go for Glasner? we won't go anywhere near a 3-4-3 manager. We hired a manager who had a system that was capable of breaking down low blocks. We never got to see his system work. Maresco in. Glazner doesn't have players. Barry Chuckle, says Chris. He just uses 3-4-3 in a more pragmatic manner. The top 5 candidates: Glazner, Southgate, Maresco, Fletcher, Xavi. It's going to be Southgate. Look, Maresca is not coming in. He's an outspoken manager. Why are INEOS and the Glazers going to go and hire the Chelsea manager who basically was looking for different jobs and is an outspoken manager? There is no way. I feel sick. Fletcher coming in. It's an illness. I was supportive of the Glazer family when they wanted to sell United to Yarrablad. I'm sorry, but I really don't see anyone better than Ollie right now. Oh, come on. 3 backs, 5 back is all anyone really uses now. It will be Fletcher or Southgate. JB take over full time. It's Fletcher taking temporary control. All 5 of those are a massive no. United squad wasn't bad enough to be a default 15th. A squad made of Bruno, Dallo are not bad. Useless, a tactically stubborn manager who doesn't know what he's doing. These are examples. Mate, Bruno Fernandez and Ahmad, etc., they sacked Ten Hag. Like, what more do you want? These players played under Ten Hag and they sacked Ten Hag. Pretty much the same players have now sacked another manager. Like, how? Like, Amarin has to take some responsibility, right? Stubborn. But the reason he was stubborn was because he came in and wanted to play a style of football. And Amarin has gone against this board and gone against this establishment since he joined. I will be desperate. It will be a desperate appointment. Southgate, Poch, Carrick, Ollie, Inzaghi wouldn't take the job either. Absolutely gutted again, mate. I am as well. Look at Flick at Barcelona. How much has he got to spend for himself? And do you think Hansi Flick would finish 15th? Yes, he would. Yes, he would. Look, mate, Palab, I think you're talking bollocks. Nobody is going. So are you suggesting that our squad is as good as a Barcelona squad? Also, Hansi Flick plays in the Spanish league. Are you suggesting that the Spanish league is as good as the Premier League? Mate, I don't know. Look, people watch football in a different way, right? I get it. I do get it. But to suggest that this squad is as good as a Barcelona, to suggest that we are as well run as Barcelona, they're owned in a different way as well, is ludicrous to me. In a 4-3-3, does Dorgu stay? We bought him as a wing back, 12 months on 30 mil wasted. Don't know, mate. I don't know, because another manager is going to want players. I agree. I don't want any of the back 5. Surely United have a manager in mind. No, they don't. Good morning. I had lunch. I had a hunch this would happen. I read my tea leaves this morning. Simon, I'm going to keep saying it again because I want to give big up to this community. I am going to clip it up, by the way, and put it on shorts. Simon, we called this last night. I told you last night I got a text from somebody that I know close to the club that Amarin was getting sacked and Darren Fletcher was going to take over. They definitely have a manager in waiting. No, they don't. No, they don't. Fighters into the new year, and it's already a sack race. Stubborn because he knows his style works. Exactly. Fletcher has a decent run to the end of the season. He gets the job board. Done it before. How do you blame players when a manager gets sacked? I really don't understand your. It's not Bruno hate, and I think people, misconstrue hate for for performance, right? Brown Knight. Bruno Fernandez is the captain of this squad. He has been shit all season. How many managers has he been through now? Ollie, Ranić, Erik ten Hag, and Amarin. Bruno Fernandez for 18 months has been shit. He is the captain of this club. He is the worst captain we have ever had. It is not based on hate. It is based on what my eyes see. It is not hate. I don't hate. Well, I can't stand these players. I absolutely detest these players, but it's not hate. People need to separate out hate from being able to judge a player. Bruno Fernandez has been absolutely crap. Whether you like it or not, Bruno is petulant. Bruno, look, I know he's been played as an 8, but where's his leadership? He is not a leader, and I've said this at the beginning of the season. Amarin is going to live or die on the Bruno Fernandez decision, and he has. I've said if you back these players, they will sack you. It is the players. It is the board, the players. And look, Bruno Fernandez is a very, very decisive player. Bruno Fernandez has been dog shit all season. He was part of Grimsby, part of the Toffees game, part of, all of the games this season. Bruno Fernandez has been dog shit. This whole team has been dog shit this season. And people are trying to blame the AFCON. These players have been here and played one game a week, and they've been atrocious all season. It baffles me, Brown Knight. It baffles me. It baffles me how people are blaming this coach for something he has no control over. Can we go for the Italian League or German League to search for a manager? But they're going to play a system. Look, I think what people need to realise here, any manager that comes into the squad is going to want their own players. This club is not going to sign players. They're not going to sign any players. We know the board are crap. We have owners who've played a blinder and allowed a puppet in Jim to take all the blame, but Amarin was awful. It's impossible to see the world where he was successful here. Big jobby. Spanish League is the championship level. Josh says, fed up of people in the comment section talking like they know the club and they haven't got a fucking clue. Go to Old Trafford and get to know the fans and the feeling. Your online opinions mean nothing. Look, Josh, that's your view. Josh, I big up Matchstone fans the whole time, mate. Look, if you're going to come on here and attack us, mate, I've been supporting this club for 38 years. I guarantee I know more than you do. Just because you go to the games doesn't mean you know more than us. And I'm fed up of people like you who are the wrong sort of person who is so arrogant and up your own arse because you go to we get people on here that go to games, right? Just because you go to games doesn't mean you know more than this club, Josh. It doesn't mean you know more than me. Doesn't mean you know more on this chat. Just the funny thing, Josh, and this is fucking hilarious. Last night I broke on this channel, and I fucking know more than you. I broke, and look, I'm just going to be like upfront here. I got told last night, Josh. So I know fucking more than you do. I said on stream last night, I had a text to tell me from somebody that I know who's associated with this club that Ruben was going to get sacked. Watch out for today, and Fletcher is going to come to take over. I know fucking more than you do. So go and put whatever agenda, shove it up your ass, and fuck off. I fucking know more than you do, and so do these fans on here. So Josh, piss off. La Liga is designed to keep top 3 rich, and the rest are punching bags. It's ruthless at the top. Fair enough. I think I'm convinced. I guess it's the owners who to blame more than Amarin. How is Bruno Fernandez? I'm not saying that Bruno Fernandez is responsible. I'm not saying that. If you listen to what I'm saying, I am not saying that. Bruno Fernandez is the captain. Bruno Fernandez is a contributor to the failure of this squad. Now you can have a go at the club, Ruben, and I will do, Jenny. I'm not going to keep banging on. It is this fucking club. It is disgusting. I've not even fucking started yet. Bruno has a passion, but I don't think he is a captain. We had Harry Maguire as captain. You just have a short memory. No, I don't. Maguire was a shit captain. Bruno, I keep saying it. I keep saying this. Look, watch the show, right? Because you people take it out of context. Go back and watch the stuff that I say. Harry Maguire was a shitty captain. Fernandez is equally shit. What has Fernandez won? He's won an FA Cup and a Carabao Cup. He was part of the 7-0 loss to Liverpool. He's part of the Grimsby loss. The Toffees. What has Bruno Fernandez goes hiding? Fernandez was the captain in that Europa League final. What did he do? He went fucking hiding, right? United, let me give you a good example here, right? We went to Turin in '99. We weren't playing particularly well. Roy Keane single-handedly grabbed that game by the scruff of the neck and we won. Spurs were fucking dog shit. Spurs had half of their team out. Where was our captain then? Where was our captain? Liverpool 7-0 loss. Where was our captain at the Grimsby game? He got brought on at half time. Where was our captain there? Our captain has hidden the whole season. What has he done this season? Maguire was equally as shit. What has Bruno Fernandez, other than goals and assists, stat padding by the way, what has he done? JB, the question is, Fletcher stick with the formation? Look, Fletcher will go to a 4-3-3. Bruno Fernandez has been pretty much... No, mate. Bruno Fernandez hasn't. He really hasn't. I just said Bruno Fernandez didn't start against Grimsby, but Bruno Fernandez came on against... We're talking about fucking Grimsby. If Bruno Fernandez cannot come in at half-time to Grimsby and change the game, what... Ruben will do great anywhere else. He goes to, I don't even know what style of football they want. Even being played in the system, they need a DLP, and he has done the best he could. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. No, he hasn't. Amarin football's gone. Josh, what is about fans saying? Exactly. At the end of the day, as a collective, the manager, the players, board have all let the club down. You forgot the pivot. I did. Who's is giving incompetent players paycheck? Give those fuckers playing for United are crap. Don't deserve to play for United. Ugarte, Dalot, Shaw, Casemiro, and Shesko. Who you think top three? I don't care, Jenny. I don't care. I'll start a protest to bring back the pivot. I know, because I've got to keep to mention the pivot. For the captaincy, I would choose De Ligt. I do agree. In the Fletcher appointment confirmed, or is it just a reliable source? It's confirmed. Fletcher is going to take over. Fletcher is going to... He is. We fucking scored 2 goals v Grimsby. It was raining heavy and they parked the bus, yet you blame Bruno for that. I'm not blaming Bruno for it. I'm not blaming... So are you suggesting that the reason why we lost to Burnley, we scored 2 goals, but the reason why we lost to Burnley was because it was raining? Oh, we lost to Burnley because it was raining. It was raining. Oh my God. I'm not blaming Bruno Fernandez. I'm coming back and you're saying that Fernandez has carried this club. I'm coming back to you on the subject of Bruno. It's not his fault that we lost to Grimsby, but I'm giving you an example. If you're saying that Bruno Fernandez is this amazing player, I can give you examples of where he has failed at this club. And look, I do respect the opinion, but you know, look, and obviously, I will see you later, my friend. Bruno's simply lost the knack to lead this team. I want him either out or hand the armband to someone else. Bad week. So look, let's get started on this. I think my opinion that the Leeds match was the final nail was, but is that only my opinion? That's your view, you know, mate. Like I said, you know. Many of you last night, as well as me, predicted this because Simon, we've been here time and time again, Simon. And look, I've got to give props. I've got to give props to you guys last night. You know, I didn't come up with this. I was told it. You guys, the difference between me and you guys last night, your experience of this club told you last night. You guys predicted it based on your experience. I predicted it based on what I was told last night. You guys called it. What's the best way to reach the owners to have them heard? How do you make our voice to reach them? Should the match go fan to 10? Or the solution is a protest. The solution is you go, look, we can't do it. It has to be done by the fans. It has to be done by a specific group of people, right? It's not something that we can do, and without the backing of those people, it doesn't happen. We need protests. The Glazers don't. What you've got to realise is the Glazers don't care. The only way we do this is we boycott games. And looking at, it's easy for me to say this, but protests. I don't think people have to stop going to games. Protests outside games really hurt them. Disrupt. It's all about disrupting. It's all about. Look, I can't say too much because if I do, I could be accused of inciting violence, right? I don't think violent is the correct way, but there are certain things that you can do that are from an actionable perspective. And I'm not talking about just standing there and marching. I'm talking about different things that are not illegal, different things that are not going to hurt people, but there are different things that we can do. And I think that we should, as a collective, as a community, we should do things. He can't plan for the team, but he certainly planned to get sacked. I think the outburst at the presser was the final nail. I do agree. Bring Dino Scott so you can do. I would do. I absolutely would do. Bro, getting games cancelled will get them out because they will lose money. Agree with you. But how do we get games cancelled? Now we have to focus on getting a new manager, but the window can be put aside. I don't know just how long it will be until we get manager. Amarin knew he was getting sacked. The decision was made before the game, and the presser, Amarin, airing his dirty laundry. So look, let's get on to. I want to talk about Wilcox, Barada, Favell. These three charlatans, these three con artists, these three tossers have thrown Amarin under the bus. You can talk about players, but I'm going to refrain from players. These absolute cretins should be sacked. They've presided over a shit show. they have presided over a rank, disgusting, toxic, rotten performances. But look, they are not going to get sacked. Amarin has been sacked. These players, best in class, right? Best in class, right? And look, I might call these players out at times, but look, Amarin, the players are the least of it, right? You know, as much as the players play their part, I don't. These players don't get given the armband, right? I mean, these players cannot demand the armband. These players cannot demand the contracts, right? It is not their fault that they've been given contracts, right? I don't blame them for that, right? Separate issue. As you said there, these bastards, the three stooges, these are supposed to be best in class. What has Wilcox done? What is his qualifications to be best in class? He doesn't have any. Like, he wanted yes men. Wilcox did a speech at a dinner and he basically said, when I came into this club, there was no link between the ownership, the football inside. There's no link between anything at all. And he exposed this club. He didn't mean to do it. It wasn't on purpose, but he exposed the club. Wilcox was never a great player. He's never a manager. What makes him the best in class? Nothing. And he's shown it. He should be sacked. He should be fucking sacked today. The whole lot should go. Omar Barada, right? Loads of us were saying, I'm probably including me, I'm not going to lie, basically saying that, oh, we've done one over on City. Oh, we've barged in there like a boss, and we've taken their guy. We are big players. City ain't fucking stupid. We got absolutely mugged. City are not stupid. You know, we got Omar Barada thinking, oh yeah, fucking, we got him. City are wankers. He's left because he knows the charges. No, he fucking wasn't. He wasn't. City are not stupid. City let him go because he's shit. You know why? What is the qualification of these players running the club the size of ours? And I don't think they realise the task in hand. The Glazers have destroyed this club. What? These guys are not best in class because they don't understand the club. They have. I didn't think that we could go lower than we have. I'm not giving any props to the Glazers. I didn't think that we could go lower than what we've done. These are the guys. These are the guys that thought it was acceptable to go and get this hipster manager who plays a 3-4-3, a specialist system. And they thought that he could come in because apparently these are football experts. Wilcox played the game. How in the fuck did they expect this to go? How did they expect this to go? A Portuguese coach, and look, I'm gonna have to say it straight here, right? A Portuguese coach who is inexperienced, who's come into this league with no experience. These coaches I've got full of ego. Amarin has an ego as well. 40 years old, inexperienced, never played, never experienced the Premier League. What did they think was going to happen? You bring them in with these sets of players, and these players are a mishmash. These players are a 4-3-3. What did they think was going to happen? These are football expert people who are supposedly look at the data, who apparently know what this team is. They didn't have a clue, and they brought in a manager who plays a 3-4-3, and we don't have the players for it. But then you're bringing in, and again, we were all spun around and told that they're going to back him. We're going to get all these players. They didn't back him. They didn't back this manager. It's just a shit show. And look, Wilcox, he should be sacked. This is Nice. This is Nice. People were told about Nice. This is chaotic. This is worse. At least, do you know what? At least the Glazers would try to come out of the situation by buying players. That is not going to happen. This is why all season I've been predicting 8 to 10, because this is what this club has become. So look, I'm asking, and look, let's get on to the Fletcher talk now. So somebody said in this chat, Fletcher won 7-0 with the under the 18s, right? How does that have any impact on this club? Fletcher knows this club. Fletcher knows the Premier League from a player perspective. Micken says, give it to Giggsy until the end of the season. Fletcher has not coached at this level. And now look, I will support Fletcher. I'm not saying that Fletcher's the guy, but I will support Fletcher, right? But how? But again, how is Fletcher? How is Fletcher the answer? I get it. The Glazers, look, the reason why Fletcher is going to be in charge is because they're not going to spend money. Fletcher is going to be the yes man until the end of the season. And again, smart one, you are right. This is Ollie again. I guarantee this, right? I guarantee this. Bruno will be moved to 10, and I guarantee you Bruno will start scoring goals, right? Bruno will start scoring goals again. This team will start to score goals again, right? It will be Ollie again. This will be Ollie, and I think you're right. We will get Fletcher will get the bounce, and I guarantee you, even if Fletcher starts to lose these games, the critics, the ex-players will not go in on him. And look, I am not against Fletcher as an interim. It's fine. It doesn't matter who we get, right? But what are Fletcher's qualifications? So now, what we're going to have? We're going to have the dream team of a Favell, Omar Barada, Wilcox, and Fletcher. How is that the best in class? Can somebody explain to me? We are supposedly the biggest club in England. We want to get into the Champions League. We want to win the league. Sir Jim, the fucking rat, right, thinks this team can get into the Champions League. How are we going to get into the Champions League with this basic, childlike, dysfunctional setup? It just doesn't work. It just doesn't work. It is baffling. Let me go through your chats. Okay. Pogba yesterday, the news back speaking to United players now and the era, best football player in the world, 1992-2017, the best football side 18 years. Yeah. Try arseholes. Glasner, I think, fits well. If Barada is the best in class, then why do City not look bothered? Exactly. Eunice talks. Chelsea YouTuber said it's fans boycott home matches. He'll hit the onus where it hurts in regards to the crap show. Agreed completely. Jesse March is available. I thought Barada was a line from. I thought he was a line from the day the earth stood still. Pogba back to United 2027 June, last contract. Why would we want Pogba back? Why on earth would we want Pogba back? Pogba's like 34. Why the hell would we want Pogba back? Pogba can't get into the Monaco side because he's injured. What are we? It would be ridiculous. I wouldn't take Pogba back. The guy's just going on like the typical scum fan. Interesting. These suits know absolutely F all about football, but will tell you about all the months of research they did. This is given the Ollie vibes. I knew during the autumn that Amarin wouldn't last. Under 18s, he could have managed a Sunday League team 25-0, but that don't make him a legend. Fletcher is going to get the bounce of Ollie. I do agree. The team will flop the following season, and he gets sacked. Our club is completely fucked. I do agree with you. I won't be surprised if we go on a roll under Fletcher. Premature decision. We are HV6. Plays away. Craig says he's happy that he's gone. This team can finish top 4 and still won't mean anything. We are back to square one. So, JB, does this decision change your view on where we finish in the club? We finish between 8th and 10th. Simple as that. I'm not going to change it. I think we finish between 8th and 10th. Look, if whether I like it or not, it is a reset. I will support Fletcher until the end of the season, but I will not change my mind. Happy New Year. Keep doing what you're doing. Keep educating. We love it. Stay strong. Thank you, my friend. It makes sense if you accept that what you're being fed is propaganda. They'll sell Bruno to Saudi. No. Don't be surprised if Rashford returns, by the way. If Fletcher is in charge of this team, do not be surprised if Rashford comes back. The cycle of new manager, the new system, and then a consistent underachievement because players' signings are not good enough. When does it stop? Have been looking at a list of candidates: Carrick, Xavi, Laurent Blanc, Rude, Pochettino. We are kidding ourselves. I think slot these YouTube coaches in former players live. In Dreamland, we need 3 midfielders. Too bad he was not the problem. The only problem was he wanted his system, but INEOS did not give him the players he wants. Back Rashford and Sancho. Sorry, bring back Rashford and Sancho. Be careful what you wish for. I bet you were getting a lot of girls when you were young. I had my fair share. Southgate in February. We are a mid-table club. Crystal Palace, disaster. I mean, at the end of the season, but for sure, it's one of the reasons they got rid of Amarin because he vetoed it. I don't want to see Rashford or Sancho. I could see Rashford coming back. Look, Dino. Rashford will come back. Rashford's coming back. That's all I'm going to say. Rashford will now come back. I think Rashford will be given a clean slate. It is jobs for the boys. It is Mates FC. Some says Klopp or Jose. I would take Jose, given the numerous changes at United and uncertainty behind the scenes, which top manager would actually want to go to United. I agree with you. Micken says Fletcher this is Man United. Friends, friends, best friends, Fletcher, friends, friends, Scholesy, friends, Fletcher, best friends, let's be friends, football friends, and that is what it is now. It is football friends. I would personally take Rashford at bridge if we can get rid of Neto and a Garnacho. Football friends FC. Rashford will come back. You know what we're going to see. We're going to see a bounce. We're going to see a manager bounce. Sir Jim. I mean, I can just imagine Sir Jim. Champers. Ruben. We've sacked him. Jason. Can you get some friends in? Yes. What about Fletcher? Great idea. Yes. Champers. I mean, Sir Jim. I mean, look. Fucking Garnacho. I mean, what a piece of shit. What a piece of shit he is. Talk about kicking a manager whilst he's down. If I was Amarin today, I would be launching. I would make sure that my office was an absolute mess. I'd be chucking papers. I'd be like, yeah, fuck this, and but that's just me. Simon, I don't think Rasmus will come back. Bosnian player in Benfica, 26, 27. Transfers, mate, we're not getting transfers. We are not getting a transfer. There is no... Look, the only way now we get players in are if people protest. That is the only way that we will get the players in. Is if this fan base now goes and stands outside with placards, the protests. That is the only way. Leeds should have won yesterday. We were shit. I hope someone eventually does a compilation of your friends' rants. Thanks, mate. It should be about the friends that we made along the way. Maresca is favourite. Would you approach an Italian league or German league managers? I would. 100%. 100%. I would absolutely do it. But this club is not interested in it. Interesting to hear what you think about how Fernandez is feeling now. I think Bruno. Whatever I think about Bruno Fernandez on the pitch, right? I have no doubts that Bruno is a great person. I think Bruno will be gutted today. I do. I think Bruno supported the manager. I think Bruno will be relieved. I think Bruno will be 10. But look, I have no doubts that Bruno Fernandez is a good guy, right? I do. I think as a person, from the things that I've heard and seen, I think that Bruno is a good guy. I do. I think he's a nice guy. I think he'll be gutted. I do. I think he will be frustrated along with the manager. I don't think Bruno Fernandez wants to be here. I don't blame him. I will always be fair, right? Bruno as a captain stinks. It's not his fault. But Bruno, I know he's a fantastic player, a fantastic person. That's what I've been told. He is gutted today. The signing we will make are recalling the loanees. What do you think? Who will replace him? My opinion, Fletcher will do it. Possibly to the end of the season. Xavi will be begging for it. I think they're going to try to give it to Southgate. I'm going to make it my mission to clip every time you go on Friends rants from all your past and then create a compilation. Pep, this get plans to now French Club League. Joe Armstrong, I'm so done with this club. The board expect the managers to polish shit when they're the ones who are the problem. Us fans are letting two people from City dictate what we do. JB, you have to do a compilation of the pivot rants. I think we need to do pivot and friends. Friends. Man City friends. Barada, Wilcox, friends. Friends, fucking friends. I don't think Maresca will join. He's literally jumping from the pan into the fire. Onana must be backed. Nope. Danny, legend of the chat. INEOS are a joke. Let's get Terzic. He took Dortmund to the final. Onana, banana in the last season. I'm gutted. Says Welshie. We're gonna call. What are we gonna call our podcast now? I still think pivot. On a good day, Bruno is a good leader and can fire the goals in, but now he can't lead a five-a-side team. American first. I'm not getting it into Trump. Welshie says I want Xavi. Look, and I mean, look, get in your opinions about it, because I think it's fascinating. I think it's an interesting debate. I think tonight I might set up a stream tonight, and I in the chat, I go. Usman says, "Do you think Luke Shaw will be first choice?" I do. Zidane is not. I think when you guys suggest a manager, right? This is my question to you, right? When you ask for Zidane or Xavi, I want the first thought to be in your minds is this: what players are they going to get? Xavi, Zidane are not going to come into this squad and work with this squad. Zidane is used to working with the best of the best. How is Zidane, who can't speak English, going to come into this squad and make these players good? That's all I'm saying. That is all I'm saying. Nikaru says, don't forget to upload. Yes, I will do. I won't forget to, well, I have forgotten to do it, but I will do it. Right now, this team is a mess. I'm crumbling. Tonight, I'm gonna do a stream tonight. And let me know in the chat, or let me know on the community tab, who wants to be on stream tonight. I think tonight what we should do as a community is do a debate tonight. I think tonight we should do a debate, and I want some of you on stream tonight. I can send you a link, and we can bring it into the show. I won't forget to do that. So let me know in the chat. Well, let me know in the community. In fact, no, because you probably don't want people. They really sacked him? Yes, Scott is a legend of the channel. Let me know in the community. No, let me know via email tonight. The email, by the way, is in the channel description. I want to set up tonight. I want to set up a stream tonight where a couple of us go through it. I think it'll be an interesting chat tonight. I'm going to set it up this afternoon. And whoever's up for it, I can get you on stream tonight and we can talk about this mess. I think it would be an interesting discussion point tonight. So look, let me know, and I will set it up and I will send you a link. So let me know tonight. A debate sounds good. Yes. Scott the Legend is in the house. I think the chat is missing the point. The ownership of Old Trafford wants a yes man. Amarin refused to play long. Agree completely. Amarin is gone. Yes, he has. The board is shite. Sack the board. Amarin was a good manager. The club is just a joke. Ten Hag, last trophy, 3 seasons, didn't win. No doubt I will get plenty of stick from the rival fans today. They are entitled to their opinions. 30k by the end of the day. Look, I really hope so. More money. Exactly. So look, guys, I'm going to go. I do have to go back to work. Look, we called it last night. This community called it. We called it last night. I'm going to give myself props for once. That's what I said on stream yesterday after we did the reaction. Is that I got told that Amarin was getting sacked today, and Fletcher was going to take over this club. You guys called it as well. I called it on stream, and it's ridiculous. So look, guys, I'm going to go. You guys are fantastic. Look, if any of you guys want to be on tonight's stream, let me know in the chat. Yeah, it is. Let me know in the chat if you want to be on stream tonight, and we can do a fans forum, a fans debate tonight, and we can talk about it on screen, and it will be an interesting one. Don't let JB play with the ball. He can't do a stream there. What time? I'll probably do it about 10 o'clock tonight. So if anyone wants to be on stream tonight, look, just let me know in the my email is in the channel description, and if you want to be on it, I'll set it up. So Gamery, say my name, please. Yes, I did. I'm sick of this club now. They have pissed me. Rashford and Sancho will be playing again this season. Exactly. Crazy. I should be around that time when I come back from the pub. Fletcher will play his twins. Yes. Exactly. Yes. Exactly that. Shit show from top to bottom. Yeah. So guys, I will be around tonight. If anybody wants to be on stream, send me your email. I will set something up, and we can have a our first fans led show. So whoever wants to be part of that, and we would do that. So look, guys, thank you so much for being here. Legends of the chat. United sack the manager. We called it. We knew it. Sad times, and let's see what goes on through the day. So look, guys, thank you for watching. Have a good rest of your day. I'm JB. This is the United Devil channel. I will see you tonight. Hopefully some of you can join me on that tonight, and we'll have a good old debate tonight. So look, guys, thank you, and I'll see you tonight. Take care.